Are you an independent author with an incredible story to share? Are you afraid your book will get lost in a sea of books? True Vine Publishing Company can help you stand out. We're not just a publishing service, we're your partner in success. We provide personalized marketing strategies and eye-catching covers that will captivate your audience. We will build your author platform and connect with your readers. We have helped countless authors achieve success, and we can help you too. Break free from the shadows, take control of your publishing journey, and make your mark. Visit TrueVinePublishing.com or call 615-44-BOOKS to schedule a consultation.
Hello, this is Timothy Bond with True Vine Publishing Company, and you're watching the next season of The Right Change, where our guest today is Dr. Jerry Davis, author of Tweet and Mace Build the Band. Big brother, how are you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good. How about you?
It's been a long time coming.
It has. Appreciate you asking me to be on your show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's we got a new season here. I hadn't done any episodes in a while, and I said it's time to get it back up because we got more books out, so we need to be promoting. And we saw each other out, and it hit me that I have not had you on the show yet. So I said,
yeah.
Definitely need to reach out. So I'm glad that you accepted, and excited to tell people about not just the book you did with me, but I know you have other books. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell people a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, man. Well, again, thank you for having me on here. Jerry Davis, born and raised right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Most of my background, if not all, is about personal training, health and fitness, wellness, getting people to do better, be better, feel better. But also have a love for music and marching band and things like that. So this book is all about combining the two. Many moons ago, I was in the band and still have that love and passion. I currently work for a local university here, and I also work with their band. So I'm excited to still kind of keep my foot in the door with that, but also making sure that the people that are around me, my friends, my loved ones, or just anyone that are listening to me, just about the importance of health and fitness. So again, thank you for having me. Yeah.
We're not going to gloss over this, though, because many people enjoyed the Tennessee State University band. And in your day, you were the drum major. And you know what I love about it, Jerry? You kind of branded yourself with that. How did you make that transition?
So I would say about 10 years ago, I've had a couple of businesses, but one business in particular was called the Inspiration Center. Then I had the Inspiration Fitness Center. And everyone that would come in and work out, the first thing they said, well, you used to be the drum major. You used to be the drum major. I remember you was a drum major. I don't think I had a name. It was drum major. You know what I mean? So I just kind of took that. I kept my whistle around my neck when I was teaching classes. I was always had my sun visor on. So I taught the workout classes as if I was teaching or working out a band. Would always kind of push band movements with our traditional workout movements, and it just stuck. So even the name of my company, Drum Major Fitness, one of the questions I'm asked is, are you going to teach me how to be a drum major? I'm like, no, Granny, I'm not going to have you back bending anywhere. But I do want to teach you about having a drum major mentality. As far as being a leader over your health and fitness and wellness. Not waiting on anyone to tell you that you need to do this or your blood pressure is too high. So I've kind of packaged all that in together, just having a drum major's mentality about your own health and fitness, leading your own way, taking yourself to the doctor, making those wise decisions on what we eat most of the time. So that's where the concept came from. Yeah.
So how do we get into books? I know I was chasing you down for years, trying to get you to publish a book. And I think your first book was it about health and fitness?
It was, and I've written in a couple of articles and then some journals and things like that. But my true first book, I actually have to give you all the praise. It is Tweet and Mace.
Okay.
So I'm excited about it. I'm still kind of pushing it and moving it. My goal is to push it amongst the school systems, that K through 5 kind of age range. They still believe in Santa Claus, so I think they will still believe in a tweet and mace.
Yeah.
And the name tweet just came from the noise that comes from the whistle. Tweet, tweet. So there's nothing scientific about it. And then his sidekick is Mace. So that is my goal, to try to get that book and still push the curriculum
Mm-hmm.
for health and wellness to be with that K through 5. We're kind of going away from it and just trying to get kids more involved and engaged, or just doing something and putting these phones down.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more in depth about Tweet and Mace.
Yeah.
Tell us about the plot. And then I saw an interesting article that I don't want to forget that I want to talk to you about. But tell us a little bit about Tweet and Mace.
Okay, so Tweet is our drum major. Mace is his sidekick, the actual baton, Mace. He doesn't talk. Kind of got the idea. This was back in 2000. This was 2007, because my kids were watching Dora the Explorer, and Dora had the backpack on, and
Yeah.
the backpack was like her friend. And so I said, well, maybe we'll just use the Mace as Tweet's friend. But his whole objective is to build the band, try to get more kids back into the band. And during his encounters in school, he runs across bullying, body shaming, and things like that, all the things that kids are faced with. But at the end, there's always an agreement, and it kind of brings them out of giving them alternate solutions on handling situations, and finding out that each person that he's involved with has a talent, can play the drums, can dance, can, the auxiliary, which is short for twirling the flags. And so it just worked. So that's my goal, my concept, to try to deal with some real issues that are going on with these K through 5 and even middle school kids, and kind of give Tweet all the praise of just being the leader in bringing the kids together. So if you notice at the end of the book, it does say to be continued. So the goal is to come right back to you and see how we can keep this thing moving.
Yeah. You deal with bullying in the book, and Tweet and Mace are basically deterring bullying by getting these kids to focus on the skills that they have, right? As opposed to seeing the differences in each other, taking their skills, the diversity of their skills, and bringing it together to create the band, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
So I got a couple of, we're gonna get political here, okay?
Okay, let's go.
So, I just saw an article in the Tribune where Tennessee legislators are trying to, or they're going to make bullying a misdemeanor, right? And to me, that's problematic in the respect that, first of all, anytime we deal with criminalization of anything, there's one demographic that's going to get the blunt of that, right?
Sure.
There's another demographic that will be given passes, but the pressure and the real hammer is going to come down on one demographic, and I think we all know what demographic that is, right?
Absolutely.
And we talk about bullying. When we came up, and Jerry and I and my brothers, we all went to the same school together. Joking on each other was like, a part of the
like breathing.
Yeah. Joking on each other was like breathing. It was a part of the camaraderie. It was one of the things that kind of helped you find your tribe, really, and the more severe you could take it and dish it back, so, and I'm not justifying bullying.
Sure.
But I just feel like, how do we get to this point where it's like we're now having to legislate like the notion of like joking on each other or bullying? Like, how do we get to this point?
So I've had this conversation with some colleagues and other people that are my age, and the thing about it is, like, these kids are our kids, and I keep saying them, but they can be any of our kids. And I think we just got away from either allowing them to just be super sensitive and everybody's into their feelings and things like that, which I have no problem with. But I didn't have a choice, back then. My dad said, do something, you got to do it. There
Yeah.
was no negotiating, there was none of that. And
Yeah.
it was just, I think it's just a change and just the time that we're in. So what we have to do as parents now is have those conversations. And I think those conversations have been replaced with electronics and social media. So the things that are being said, we're not able to teach them. So everything is heightened. Everything is more sensitive. Everything is, I don't feel like you should have said that. Well, there's a lot of things I know that was said to me that I didn't feel like should have been said. So either they're right and we're super wrong, or we're still right, or whatever the case may be. Maybe we should have been more vocal. That part I haven't quite figured out yet, but I know what you said, that if that law goes into effect, we already know who is going to harm. And, and to be 17 with a misdemeanor because you said this and you joked on this person or whatever the case may be, long term, trying to get into school, trying to find a job, and you're 25, that thing will follow you. So we know what the real meaning is. It's just a matter of having a conversation with our kids, and the word they use, tough skin. How do we balance that out? Being able to talk about your feelings, but not taking everything literally, you know what I mean? And being super sensitive. So there's some more conversations to be had.
It's definitely more complex. And I know, like I said, I'm not justifying bullying, but I do think there's a certain amount of, like you said, tough skin, to be able to take a joke, to not internalize it as, and want to come out and bring weapons and harm other people, and
or harm themselves, you know what I mean? Because the pressures of life are just getting to them, so they feel like, you know what, I'm going to check out, over what, you know what I mean? So we've got to just do more talking. We've got to have some more conversations, and we got to also make sure that we bring in professional people that went to school for this. You know what I mean? Like, we would play football and fall down and hurt our arms, and our coach would say, walk it off.
Right.
You're like, coach, my arm is broke. It's all the way back behind my head. Like, everything
put that in your pocket. We'll fix it later.
But everything can't be walked off. And I say that metaphorically, like, we've got to have some conversations where there's just some balance. So, so we just got to do the tough work. That's it.
No, I do believe that music, being in a band myself, music played a very intricate part in the development of kids. And I remember, when I was in high school, actually, when you were in high school, right, a couple of years before me, the band looked as big as the college band, right? It went from the 10-yard line to the 10-yard line, right? Both sides. And then as the years went on, we see that funding for bands and that kind of thing just starts to fall off. And, particularly with your emphasis on music appreciation, the arts, how do you see this current kind of underfunding of the arts in school? How's that impacting the youth that you're trying to reach?
Well, it's just that our numbers are small. I think I went to a couple high school games last year. And just like you said, we had bands from the 10-yard line to the 10-yard line. We look like baby colleges. Now, if there's 25 people in a band, they're doing pretty good. So I think the disconnect came where, what's the next thing that's going? I think we missed it probably somewhere between, I'm just going to say, late 90s, early 2000s, where it just wasn't, no one was really there to emphasize, hey, you can do all these other things, but you can still play an instrument. Because one thing about playing an instrument, you cannot have that taken away from you. There's so many things that you can do with that. And you can hoop, and you can play baseball, and you can. So it's not about playing basketball all year round. You burn out, and now like, man, I should have kept my trumpet in my hand. You know what I mean? Also, I've talked to kids about, they're like, well, Dr. Davis, it's just not cool to be in the band. Well, who said that? You know what I mean? And this is what I'm talking about as far as being leaders, you know what I mean? Not doing what you see as you're scrolling on your phone, not doing what someone else has said. Well, like, no, I kind of like music. Well, pick up an instrument, and you can still dance, and you can still draw, and you can still be a creator, but why not pick up an instrument or whatever that looks like to you as it relates to a related arts, drawing, swimming, dancing, music. That's what I'm trying to bring back. And one thing I want to make sure I make mention of, your brother uh, actually put me in a position to where I am today.
Oh, really?
He said, "Hey, you want to be in the band?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And the way I go about things, I got into it, man. I locked in. I wanted to play drums so bad. Your brother, Trevin Daly, John Robertson, like all these guys, like really just took me in. And I was just like dedicated, like I've got to play catch up. These guys been playing in the band since fourth grade, fifth grade. I went to St. Vincent, so we didn't have a band program. And then I turn around and look, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the only one still in the band.
Right. Right.
So that's what I try to give to the students. Like, hey, you can do anything you want to. Why not do everything, and then kind of bring it in as you get a little older, try to figure out where you're actually good at.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you try. You know what I mean? And I know some guys right now that's making big money off an instrument that they started at Ewan Park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And thought they were going to be the next LeBron. Like, no, you know what I mean? So
right.
I'm just trying to get them, just try it. I'm not saying you got to be in a marching band, but just try it. Try to work out. Try to pick up an instrument. Try to draw. There's something in you. And as adults, we got to try to pull that out and harness that talent. So.
And for those of you who don't know, Ewing Park is a junior high school we all went to.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't even exist anymore, does it?
I think it's still there, but it's probably closed down. They've closed down so many schools now,
Yeah, I think they changed the name. I think it may be a charter school now. So I think the brick and mortar is still there. But yeah, we got some work to do, man. Yeah, got some work to do.
What that leads into this question, like what's your ultimate dream for the mission you have in reaching kids and health, mental health, physical health? What's your ultimate dream?
That there's a buy-in. If I can change 20 people right now, those 20 change another 40. And it's just not me trying to do all the work. It's just planting seeds right now. That's all it is. My ultimate goal is that someone listens, takes the rope, and then they move on with it, almost like a baton passing. I think, again, you asked me earlier, I think that baton was dropped somewhere between late 90s, early 2000s. So my goal is just to pick the baton up, to be able to talk about related arts, but also be able to talk about things that are going on with you. You mentioned, mental fitness or mental health. It's important. Everything can't be prayed away. You know what I mean? Everything.
Right.
So as young adults, as our middle-aged adults, we've got to figure out, how do we pick this baton up, hand it backwards, and give them the tools that they need to do and make sure that they're planting seeds. So it may not happen right now, but 15, 20 years from now, trees don't grow overnight. So my goal is just to start planting seeds now so that our kids can kind of reap the benefits. But we got to talk, but there's got to be a balance. We got to figure out what else we got to do, but everybody can't hoop. You know what I mean? So we just want to give them options. Yeah. That's my goal.
Man. So are you, do you have any programs that parents can reach out to find out more about? I know you're wanting to take the book into the schools. How can people reach out to you?
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram at Drum Major Fitness. I tell you one thing, I just completed my doctorate last year, back in December. So this whole spring, literally, I've had to just decompress and come down and say, hey, I'm not in school anymore. I can be a regular human being again.
Right.
So before I jumped in anything, I just needed to just rest my brain. This interview and today, like, I've got a new sense of urgency to get back to doing what I'm doing. I am redeveloping and rebranching Drum Major Fitness. And we're talking about from little kids up to middle-aged adults to seniors. And it's all the same concept, just based on your demographic and how old you are. So yeah, Drum Major Fitness is back. We are kicking alive. And I'm going to just try to take advantage of what we went through during COVID. Is just Zoom classes and social media, because everybody can't meet at a certain place. I've got people that I train right now that are in Atlanta, that are in Houston. So why not keep that same concept because we've got some folks just don't like to be around people just for whatever reason. I call them the COVID babies. You know, they'd rather stay in their room, but it doesn't mean we just give up on them. So Drum Major Fitness will be in person, will be hybrid, will be online. We're doing check-ins, and I'm going to bring in professionals to talk about it, what's going on up here. I can pretty much take care of the body, but I know my lane. So, you know, my goal and my vision is to bring in folks that can take care of those other things. And we just form this perfect package for everyone.
Awesome, man. Well, look, everybody, you all need to go follow Dr. Davis. You got the Instagram. Do you have a website or email?
Not yet. Well, I do have an email. It's drummajorfitness09@gmail.com. And I'm also on Facebook as well. So can I say one more quick thing?
Absolutely.
And this is showing my age, so I want to give a shout out. You know, who gives shout outs anymore? But to Dr. Latiria Tucker Jordan.
Yes.
You know, my good friend who co-wrote the book with me. She's written a couple books or a book with you.
Yes.
So she kind of gave me the inspiration and courage to finish this one out. So she played a really big part in this book. So I just want to make sure I did mention her. So I don't get any hate mail. So
absolutely. And Dr. Jordan has been on the show a couple of times. So the Right Change family knows about the Tweet and Mace, but we never had you on. So I'm glad we finally got a chance to have both authors on, but definitely didn't mean to leave Dr. Jordan out at all. Dr. Davis, I appreciate you being on the show finally, and looking forward to more books to come.
Absolutely. But thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
All right.
Looking to do more books with you. So
awesome. Thank you, and you have a wonderful day.
All right, you as well.